Welcome everyone to a new episode for the Filipino Australian Lawyers Association. And thank you, Justice Champion, for being our guest for this podcast episode. We are truly grateful for giving us the opportunity to share your journey and initiatives with us today. Currently, Justice Champion is a presiding judge in the Supreme Court of Victoria, with experiences spanning decades of advocacy, specializing in criminal law across the state and Commonwealth prosecution offices. He is also a passionate advocate for strengthening bilateral relations between the Philippines and Australia in judicial management, forensic sciences, and also in criminal law. FALAW recognizes his contribution and development of the National Forensic Institute in UP Law Manila last June 18, which aims to streamline evidence management and procedure in the Philippine judicial process. So we are all excited to delve into all of that. But to start off, Justice Champion, could you share us a bit more of your background? Who is Justice Champion at the bench and outside the bench? Yes.
Okay. Well, Diane, thank you for the opportunity to record the podcast. I'm really thrilled to do something that advances FALAW. Of course, I recall that I was able to be a keynote speaker when on its inauguration. Must be now about 18 months ago. And of course, then there was another event at Victoria University in which I was able to talk. So I'm very keen to make sure FALAW is successful, and I applaud the work that you're doing in the community. That's terrific. Who am I? Well, I suppose in terms of telling you about my journey, first of all, as a judge on the bench, I hope that I fulfill a number of very important attributes that are to attach to a judge, and that is making sure that the proceedings before me are conducted fairly. That's very important. I hope that I conduct proceedings with a very tolerant approach and a respectful approach. I try to conduct a respectful workplace because I think it's important for everyone to keep in mind that a courtroom is a workplace like any other workplace, and we have many people in the courtroom, including my staff, barristers and solicitors that come to the court, and members of the public. So it's important that we maintain the standards of keeping a respectful workplace. I hope I achieve that. I would like to think of myself as a non-interventionist judge, that I hope to let lawyers do the talking, let them develop their submissions. And one area that I am particularly, I think, interested in, and this really comes from my time as the Director of Public Prosecutions, that I do like to make sure that I encourage younger lawyers who might come to the courtroom to appear before me. I have two associates, judges associates, that work to me. Well, I have one at the moment, but normally I would have two associates. But the one I have working with me at the moment is a young lawyer who is just out of university a couple of years ago. And I see my role as doing quite a lot of mentoring her. We talk about our cases. She does quite a lot of the writing. Of course, she organises my chambers and basically administers things and puts me on the right path. So it's important that I maintain a safe workplace for her and a respectful workplace for her as well. So I hope I achieve that. And so far as me on the bench, I suppose, well, I'd like to think that that's the way I act in the role as a judge. Outside of the court, well, I am, of course, now married, and been married for over 50 years. Seems like a long time. It doubles the age group of a number of your audience, I suppose. I married in 1975 when I was a young lawyer. My wife is a language interpreter, she's been doing that job for between 40 and 50 years.
Mm.
Do you want to know what language she interprets in?
I would be keen to.
Yeah, well, she interprets in Tagalog
Uh,
and Pampangan.
mm,
Because my wife's from the Philippines. I don't know whether everyone knows that. So that's given me a great interest in the Philippines.
mhm,
We have two children. One of our children is a barrister, a member of the Victorian Bar, and she's been doing that for nearly 15 to 16 years. And she followed my path
mhm,
into the criminal law, and she does really mostly nearly all criminal law cases.
mhm,
Um, so what I do by way of enjoyment, I enjoy the family, of course. At home, we have a big garden which we look
mhm.
after. I enjoy reading books. I don't read too much of the law at home, but I do enjoy reading books, and particularly books on history.
Mm,
And I have to say, particularly books about the Philippines. So I've read
mm,
quite widely about Philippine history.
mm,
My first trip to the Philippines was 1976, when we were on our way back from a year in London when I was working.
mhm,
And that was the first time I went to the Philippines. And since then, I've followed the fortunes of the country from that very moment. And as a result, we have many friends and colleagues and family connected with us and the Philippines. So I try and read extensively about the country. I watch the news and try to
mm.
keep up with day-to-day affairs
I
in
would
the
want
Philippines.
I would want to learn more about your experiences like across those decades, especially in the Philippines, your insights on your
Yeah,
experiences in that. Yeah.
yeah. So that's me. In terms of my journey into aspects of the law, I've practiced the criminal law for really between 40 and 50 years.
Mhm,
Um, when I was admitted to practice, you had to do that after a year of what we call articles, which no longer
mm,
exists. A bit like the process now that has to go through. So it's the sort of legal college and all of that. But in those days, you were effectively articled or apprenticed to a
mm,
solicitor,
mhm,
where you spent a year learning how to be a solicitor. And after that, I decided to go to the bar. So I've been a barrister since
mm,
1977
mhm,
in various forms. I'm still a member of the Victorian Bar because
mhm,
even as a judge, you still maintain membership of the bar. So
mhm,
I've been a member of the Victorian Bar for about 50 years.
mm. Could you share us more about your journey from university to the bar and becoming a member of the judiciary? And how did you pick criminal law as a specialization for you? Yeah.
I get asked that question quite a lot because one of the things we do as judges is we talk to students.
Mm,
The court has a process when they bring schools
mm,
into the court, and we often talk to the students about these particular things. So far as my journey into the criminal law is concerned, I suppose that really started with the law course, which I did at Melbourne, which I actually found fairly tedious, and I didn't really enjoy my law course very much. But out of the subjects, I did enjoy criminal law and I
mm,
did enjoy evidence. So those sort
mm,
of two things went together.
mm,
And once I'd finished the 4 year law course at
mm,
Melbourne, I went on to do a postgraduate degree diploma in criminology.
mhm,
So I guess my course was really being set, although I might not have realised it
mhm,
at the time. As I said, I went to London, and I went to London because I wanted to do a year of articles overseas. And I found a law firm in London that was a criminal law firm.
mhm,
And I spent a little over 12 months working there with the criminal lawyers,
mhm,
which again cemented my interest in the criminal law. And when I came back to Melbourne, I worked for a couple of years with in personal injuries. with a small law firm, but then decided to go to the bar. So it wasn't very long after I came back in 1977, late in 77, that I signed the bar roll and started off as a barrister. From then, well, I was like any young barrister. I did anything I could to earn a living, and for the first 5 years, I concentrated on just getting into court, going everywhere, different court every day, all around Victoria, to the point where I decided after about 5 years that I really only wanted to do criminal law. And then I restricted my practice essentially to criminal law cases. And then from there, it was representing people or prosecuting for the next 10 or 15 years until the late 1990s, when I was asked by the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecutions to become an in-house counsel for the Melbourne office of the Director. And I did that, and of course that meant I concentrated on prosecuting criminal law cases only. And I did that for 6 years. During that time, I was appointed senior counsel, took silk, and then at about 2005, 2006, back to the private bar, where I worked again for another 5 or 6 years there, perhaps doing better cases because I was then silk, until the government asked me to see whether I'd be interested in being appointed the Acting Director of Public Prosecutions. And I did. And after about 3 or 4 months, I was appointed to the permanent role of the DPP, which I did for between 6 to 7 years. And in 2000, late in 2017, government, the Attorney General contacted me and said, well, we're really interested in appointing you to the Supreme Court. And that's how that happened. So the DPP's role was a 10-year appointment. And it's not, I don't think any DPP has gone for 10 years in the job, but government sort of said, well, it's time, and would you like to do it? And I said, well, okay, that's the next step. So I've been a judge since December 2017. I retired in 2021 because I turned 70, and that's the mandatory retirement time, where we become what we call statutorily senile. Had 6 months off and then decided to come back, and the government reappointed me for 5 years as a reserve judge. So I'm now a reserve judge with an appointment that runs till the end of 2026. I can then potentially do another 3 years as another further appointment, but at the age of 78, that's it. That stops at that point.